What's going on, guys? It has been a minute. I have kind of been, slacking, I guess, with putting some content up, but I'm going to try to push some stuff out here in the next few weeks/months, depending on like weather and shit like that. We're actually supposed to get some snow today, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, there are a couple new things going on in the car that I have done recently that I just never got around to posting, and that's on me. I guess I haven't had the time. I could use that as an excuse, but I mean, if you really wanted to, you would make time, so there's that. But all in all, I want to try and get back to it. I want to try and start posting more. Not that I really have a lot to post about, because I've kind of put a crunch on doing anything else to this car. I am looking at upgrading, not necessarily getting rid of this car entirely. I kind of want to hang on to this as like a daily/winter beater. Oh fuck, that's great. What is that? But so yeah, I want to hang on to this car, but I'm also looking into getting an upgrade. I've been working 7 days a week to pay stuff off so that I can do that, hence the lack of time. But then we go back to it like a broken record, and if you really wanted to, you would just make the time. So we can argue that for hours and hours on end. So that's why we're here. That's why I'm talking about this right now. I did recently put on the paddle shifters. That was a fun little journey. I wasn't expecting it to be, I don't want to say difficult, because it wasn't really difficult. It was just kind of the fact that I didn't really know where I was getting myself into. And that was, in order to put these on, I had to take the lovely airbag off. Well, in order to do that, you have to, oh shit, oh god, fucking streets of Omaha are crazy. In order to do that, I had to disconnect the battery so that there wasn't any power going to this, because if I would have had power going to the airbag and I would have done something wrong, that would have blown up in my face. Quite literally blown up in my face. So that wouldn't have been a fun time. So yeah, disconnect the battery and pull this off. This was what the fun part was, pulling this off, because there are a few little spots behind here where you have to get like a little tiny, I don't know, I used a Allen wrench, a longer Allen wrench preferably, because of where these little pin sits. And I should have taken a video when I did it to kind of give you guys a better idea of what's going on behind here, but I didn't do that. Again, not thinking. I need to get better at actually taking videos just anytime I do anything. So there's that. Anyways, yeah, there are, on each side, there's one little hole you have to go through to push this. It's almost like a spring-loaded clip, but it was absolutely absurd to try and pull off, because I mean, you go in there blindly, and it's not like it's a straight shot either. The material around the steering wheel where you're trying to get into is actually, it's, how do I describe this? It's like a hard plastic, but it moves. It's almost like a hard plastic/leather, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, it's got a little bit of play in it, and that's where I had the difficulties. But once you get back there, there's not a whole lot to it. It's actually very simple. It's all plug and play. There's no wire splicing. You don't have to go in. You don't have to cut anything, or, you know, there's nothing fancy about it at all. It's literally you just unplug the ones that you have and then plug in the ones that you want to put on. Or in my case, I didn't have any to begin with, so yeah. And then from there, you will either need a taser, or you will need to go to the dealership and have them program the paddles in. If you have a taser, it makes it a lot easier, because then you don't have to waste the time, or they're probably going to charge you money anyways. So you won't have to pay them any money to get them programmed in, which is nice, unless you know somebody. Anyways, rambling on. So, enabled those, that was fun. And then found out that there was a setting that I had tipped off in the taser for eco mode. And that's, I guess it's always kind of been on. So when I first programmed these to be on, they didn't work. Freaked me out. I thought there was something wrong with the paddles that I just bought for $100. I was gonna be really pissed if I just burnt up $100 and threw it down the drain. But I knew that they were working-ish, because the volume controls and the little buttons to change the stations and shit, that was all working fine. So I knew something else was up. So as soon as I went in there, saw the eco mode was on, and because I have the experience with the Wife Scat Pack, I knew that if you have a car like this in eco mode, these paddles automatically become null. It doesn't allow you to use them. So that's where I went back into the taser and took out the eco mode, and boom, they worked. It was awesome. It was great. It is great to be able to go so much fun. But there's that. And in order to get out of the manual mode, if you let it just kind of dry for a second, sometimes they go out. But if you hold it, like shifting up, if you hold it, it'll actually take itself out, which is nice. But I am going to get back to driving so I don't crash and kill people. So have a fun day.